I'm here with Bert Snyder. He's with Palmetto Exterminating, and his company has been in business for over 58 years and a family-owned company. Bert brings a special skill set to the pest control industry in that he was a graduate entomologist from Clemson University, and Bert has been my go-to when I have questions about termites. And so we're going to have a little conversation about termites in the Lowcountry. And first, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell about your background and how you got in this business.
Well, I appreciate that, David. Obviously, I'm Bert Snyder. I'm the entomologist and technical director for Palmetto Exterminators. It's my family's business. My father was national training director for Termites and Orkin prior to Mom and Dad buying Palmetto Exterminators in Waldoboro, South Carolina in 1975, and I took it over in 1990.
Awesome. Why don't we just get started and talk about what kind of termites do we have in the Lowcountry?
Well, we primarily deal with 4 different species of termites. 3 are the indigenous subterranean termites that have always been here, but the primary one that we deal with today is the Formosan termite, which is still categorized as a subterranean termite, but it's completely different. It's an invasive species. It's very aggressive and is pushing out all of the other indigenous species in the area, and it's becoming the main thing that we deal with.
So we've got termites. We're in a semi-tropical environment. How do we treat for these termites?
Well, the first thing is you got to do a very good inspection on the property. No treatment plan can be determined until you know what you're dealing with, if it's a preventative treatment or if it's a curative treatment with an existing problem. So we have very good products that we can utilize when we do a treatment. We have soil treatments. The primary product that we use is Termitor, made by BASF. And then we also have bait systems that we can use out there. New construction, we can actually do treatment of the wood as it's being built. The best program that I think are out there is when it's a combination of one of those 3 products, if not all 3, being used with a very good inspection program.
Well, you brought something here, and what is that, Bert?
Well, this is a Formosan nest. We call it a carton nest. It's made out of saliva, wood, dirt, and fecal matter. The Formosan termite, one of the unique things about them is they will move up into a wall. If you picture this inside a wall and fill it up with this carton nest material, it makes them very tough to get rid of because they can survive without contact with the ground. And a lot of times these are hidden in a wall, so you got to try to find these. And we use infrared cameras and whatnot with heat signatures to try to locate these. But this is one of the reasons why the Formosan is so difficult to control.
Now, I think you developed a Formosan kind of enhanced inspection.
Correct.
Why is that different than what people typically do when they look for termites?
The traditional termite inspection has been usually outside and underneath the house, just looking for the termite tubes. Well, the Formosan is very adept at infesting structures either aerially, where they fly in with the swarmers and infest that way, or they sneak up somehow that's hidden beyond visible view. So we developed this program realizing that we couldn't rely just on that traditional inspection technique, and we realized that with the Formosan termite, with these nests in a wall, they produce a heat signature. So we started using infrared camera technologies and developed that, where we go in and scan the walls. This is as close as we can get to X-ray vision without actually tearing open the wall.
Right.
It's not an exact science. There's no manual out there how do you do a termite inspection with infrared camera, so we had to develop that protocol ourselves, and we can scan all the walls, and if there's a lot of activity in a wall and a nest, it'll show up as a hot spot. So that's one of the things that we look at. Also, it'll show up moisture issues. It'll show up as a cool spot. Termites are attracted to the moisture in a wall, so there may not be a lot of activity there yet to show up as a hot spot, but we know to investigate those cool spots as well.
So you've done an inspection, then you offer some kind of service agreement. What kind of service agreement is out there available for people?
There are 2 types of agreements currently out there today. Like if you're buying an old house downtown Charleston that's 200 years old,
right,
that's not going to qualify for what people call a repair agreement, or a lot of people refer to it as a bond. It's not really a bond. You're buying a termite control program with a limited warranty. So you have 2 types. You have a service warranty, where the treatment and the inspection is the same no matter what type of warranty you get, but because of the house, it's only going to qualify for the service agreement, meaning all we're going to be responsible for is retreatment if the termites show up. The repair agreement's like it's a brand new house built during construction, no problems. It's going to get the repair agreement, which is a limited warranty, which if it gets termites, depending on the situation, where there's not a construction defect or something, will cover for the cost of retreatment and contribute to the repairs.
Okay, so part of it is you'll retreat it, but when you're looking at a service agreement, do the termite companies have a certain, you said limited, so what are they typically limited to? Or is that something that you should look at in the agreement to determine which is the better agreement to go with?
Yeah, it's one of the things I always tell people, you need to buy the best control program.
Right.
The warranty language is secondary to that, in my opinion. But you definitely need to read that because there are some gimmicky languages out there. Every warranty is different. There's no standard out there. So every company, there's no law that says everybody's got to have this type of language in their contract. So you need to look at that. Particularly if it says something like, we're not going to cover Formosan termites. Well, you don't have an agreement then because that's all you're going to get here is Formosan termites. There are contracts out there that say those things. And they all have some sort of limitation, like if you have a plumbing leak and termites find it, or if you got a leaking chimney, it's rotting, wood rot with fungi damage because of a moisture problem, those areas are usually going to be excluded.
Okay. So in real estate, in our contract that we use, we have what's called an inspection for, or what's called wood infestation report.
Correct.
So what does the inspector do when they come out and do the inspection for that report?
So any real estate transaction that is done and they need this report, it has to be done on the state form. It's called CL 100 form. And it's actually titled Wood Infestation Report. So we're not only looking for termites, we're looking for all wood destroying organisms, which could be moisture damage, cause rot damage, which is actually the fungi that grows on wet wood, beetle damage, carpenter ants, carpenter bees, other old house borers, powder post beetles, and then also termites. Termites the main part of it because that's the most common thing that we find, but it's usually inspected for all wood destroying organisms.
I've noticed on your reports, is there a requirement to have a graph with attached to the report and photographs, or is that from company to company?
It varies from company to company. The only thing that's required is you use that form CL 100 if you're going to issue a report for a wood infestation inspection report for a real estate transaction, and all it's required is you fill out that form. There's no requirement to do photographs or do a diagram to that effect, but we always recommend the more detailed the better.
And it's easier for the consumer to understand it if they have a graph showing where the problem you're noted in the wood infestation report plus a photograph. So it just basically makes it easier.
It makes it easier because homeowners usually don't understand how their houses are put together and what we're looking at. So this way, a picture is 1,000 words, and the location on the diagram certainly goes a long ways with addressing it.
There are other services that you have, but I guess sometimes people get confused. If you have a termite service agreement, does that cover cockroaches and spiders and stuff like that, or is that's a separate?
It's a separate service. We have two different departments. We have our termite control department, and then we have a pest control department.
Okay.
And those are different techniques, different chemicals, different technicians, different tools, and everything else. So we separate the two.
So basically, if you're concerned about cockroaches, you need to get a
pest control service.
Pest control service. But you also, in the Lowcountry, we have mosquitoes.
Correct.
So you also do mosquito services, right?
Correct. One of the great things about living in this environment, and it's so nice, is there are a lot of bugs, and mosquitoes are one of them, and the no-see-ums. So we have a service that's separate. Also that you can contract with, where we treat the yard for the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums.
Is it the same treatment?
No, it's completely, again, it's different technicians, different chemicals, different tools, everything. Like for mosquitoes, we install a misting system, is what we like to do at a house, as well as a barrier application and fog application in the yard every few months. But yeah, it's completely different service as well.
Well, Bert, thank you for your time. I appreciate your
pleasure.
friendship over the years and your expertise in the business, and I wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.